Yo, in this video we're gonna take a look at the Ascendancies that they've released for Dawn of the Hunt, the new season kind of thing. I'm not the best at this game. I'm just gonna tell you what I think, if it looks cool or not, and I'm probably gonna try and decide on which one I'm gonna pick. The passive tree has probably changed a lot, so we don't know anything about that yet. I don't know exactly which one I'm gonna pick. If there is one that I'm interested in playing, I'm gonna tell you the one that I'm the most interested in, and then when the passive tree gets released, I'll look at that and see if it works with the Ascendancy, if it's cool or not. We'll see. Maybe the passive tree changes my choice, because I think the passive tree is gonna change a lot. I hope it is. Okay, so first of all, we have the Huntress, the new class. And this is the Amazon. Let's go over the big passive notes. We have Elemental Infusion, Infused Weapon. When you consume a power charge, trigger Infused Weapon to gain 2 cold infusion. Sounds cool. I don't know what that is, but let's read the next one. Maybe we understand what it does. 50% chance for infusion to not be consumed when infusing a projectile. So we infuse our projectiles with the element, and oh yeah, power charge is cold, endurance is fire, frenzy is lightning. Okay. Oh, they've changed power to cold? I didn't realize. Wait, what? Power charge is usually lightning, and frenzy is usually cold in PoE1. Okay, maybe this is changed, or they worded it wrong, switched words out. I don't know. Okay, so we probably infuse with this, so we can infuse 2 times when we consume 1 power charge. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know. Cool, I guess. That doesn't look interesting for me. In for the kill. Boom, this one. 10% increased movement speed while an enemy with an open weakness is in your presence. Okay, open weakness, we'll see what that is soon, I guess. 40% increased skill speed while an enemy with an open weakness is in your presence. That's a lot of movement and skill speed. That's awesome. And then we'll look at this node, Predatory Instinct. Reveal weakness against rare and unique enemies. 50% more damage against enemies with an open weakness. Okay. That seems to be a lot of damage. I don't know how that works, but it seems to be like low life, but it's not like only when the enemy has low life. Okay, let's look at the next one. We have this one here. Critical Strike. Chance to hit with attack can exceed 100%. Gain additional critical hit chance equal to 20% of excess chance to hit with attacks. Okay. Interesting. Accuracy stacking. This one here. Penetrate. Attacks using your weapons have added physical damage equal to 25% of the accuracy rating on the weapon. That seems to be good. Accuracy stacking thing. Let's hope they've added some more accuracy stacking things in this this league, this patch. These two look interesting. That seems fun to stack accuracy. Yeah. You get some free crit when you do it as well, which is pretty nice. Okay. Mystic Harvest. Life leech recover based on your elemental damage as well as physical damage. Okay. So your elemental damage leech. Yeah. You get elemental leech when you pick up this leech. Seems awesome. We have this node, Esmery Brew. Life flask also recover mana. Mana flask also recover life. This seems to be a really good node. I would pick that if I pick this. Boom. And then we have Stalking Panther. Evasion rating from equipped helmet, gloves, and boots is doubled. Interesting. Evasion rating from equipped body armor is halved. you get half from body armor. So you probably equip something without evasion rating that has a good, like, you probably equip like a unique body armor that gives you some sort of huge mitigation, like Cloak of Flame. And then you do evasion on your helmet, boots, and gloves, and you get tanky and evasive at the same time. Maybe that's good. Yeah, this looks interesting. I would pick, yeah, the accuracy things seems really fun, and then I would probably either pick the leech. No, we don't deal any elemental if we're gonna go physical, because if we go physical, you'll go bleed probably, with the new bleed skills they have, and maybe there's cool new bleed supports as well. So probably the mana, the flask, the accuracy stack in them, then maybe the predatory instinct to get the extra 50% more damage against enemies with open weakness. So you apply the bleed, and yeah, maybe that's big. Yeah, cool. I like this one. Yeah. Next. This is the Ritualist, also a Huntress Ascendancy. As the Whispers demand. Ritual sacrifice can be used on yourself to remove 10% of maximum life to grant a random monster modifier. A maximum of 1 modifier can be granted this way. Yeah, a headhunter, but you sacrifice life, but you only get 1 mods. That seems really bad. And if it's random, you're never gonna get the mod you want. And this one, it's the one before. Grant skill ritual sacrifice. Is this the one where you sacrifice the enemy on the ground? You just stab it with your knife. Depending on how long if it is that, it depends on how long it takes to do that, and if you get all the mods, or if you only get 1 mod as here. But if you get all the mods, this is like a free headhunter with a little bit of a cooldown before you pick it up. It could be good, could also be very annoying. Maybe you can affect this with skill speed or something like that, so you can make it really quick. Then it could be fun. Otherwise, yeah, could be fun to play around with. I mean, maybe you can get the duration up by applying temp chains to yourself and stuff like that. Okay, we have this node can instead consume 25% of maximum mana to trigger charms with insufficient charges. Okay, so you can bypass charm cost with mana. Okay, interesting. Maybe charms are huge this league. +1 charm slot, 20% more charm charges gained. Maybe you do a charm build. I don't know, maybe. I haven't looked into much more. This is like the first thing I look at, except for like the release thing. So maybe they have released more things and I haven't seen it. I'll look at those later then and make a video on that. Okay, but here we have the juicy ones. 25% increased bonus gain from equipped rings and amulets. And then we have this one. 1 extra ring slot. I'm really excited about this. Oh, 3% attribute? Wow. Oh shit, a drawback? Reduced maximum mana, reduced spirit, minus to all elemental resistance. Wow. You probably only take elemental or reduced mana. The spirit thing is too huge of a drawback, I think. I mean, yeah, this if I don't know about the other ones, but this is huge. I mean, you get almost 4 like accessories, because you get 25 on every ring you equip. No, you get actually 4. It's like you have 4, well, not 4 rings. It's like you have almost 3 rings equipped. 4 rings equipped, and then an amulet and a little bit more. So it's essentially you have 4 accessories equipped. If you take the extra ring slot and then this, because you then affect 25% on 4 slots, so that's 100% extra. So it's huge. And we need to look at these other. Blood Boil, I don't know what that is. If that is good, I mean, maybe. Or maybe the charms and the ring thing is like, then you're like, you're done. Maybe that's enough. Oh, there's a big one here. Increased life recovery rate per 5% missing life. Maybe you can play around with that somehow. Yeah. But yeah, this is very interesting as well. But yeah, this is probably more end game. When you have like good rings and a good amulet, this is gonna be insane. It's gonna be stupid how strong this can be. I mean, you get an extra ring. You can just use a ring for damage. Like you just go all damage on that one. But you can also have life on that. So I mean, it's fucking huge, dude. This is big. The ring things really huge at the end game, I think. And if we can figure out a way to use these other things, it's gonna be a really good class, just generally. I like it. This is the Lich. It's a new Ascendancy for the Witch. Okay. Wow, the cool notes, how they're placed, and like the travel lines. Okay. Rupture the Soul. Cursed enemies killed by you or allies in your presence have a 33% chance to explode, dealing a quarter of their maximum life as chaos damage. Huge for clear. It's gonna be sick. Yeah. Next one. After this one. Increased magnitude of Unholy Might buffs you grant per 100 maximum mana. Okay. And I'm guessing we can get Unholy Might on some other node here. So that's gonna be huge then. This one. And travel nodes are area effect of curse. Okay. Non-channeling spells cost an additional 3% on maximum energy shield. Non-channeling spells deal 30% more damage. Spending energy shield does not interrupt recharge. That's big. That's cool. You just deal more damage. But you sacrifice energy shield when you do it. Okay. Yeah. We go and you get extra maximum energy shield on the travel node. And I'm gonna skip this one, the big socket here, until the end. The chromatic conduit. You and allies in your presence have Unholy Might, while you are not on low mana. And you lose 5% mana per second. If you can mitigate that, that's pretty nice. You get Unholy Might. If you're a summoner, you can use this maybe. It depends. Oh, we have Unholy Might here, down here in the corner. Unholy Might is a buff that grants 20% of all damage as extra chaos damage. So that's all damage. That means even elemental. So that's a 30% extra like chaos damage on top for all your minions and yourself, if you can upkeep the mana. And the travel nodes are increased maximum mana. The big node here at the end is you can apply an additional curse. Your curses can affect hexproof enemies. That's strong, especially the hexproof thing, and yeah, curses are pretty decent in this league, in PoE2 as well, but not as powerful as in PoE1 currently. That's how I feel. I don't know if it's correct. It's just my feeling. Price of Power. Non-channeling spells consume power charges to deal 25% more damage. Pretty good. That's a 2-noder. Increase energy shield 20%, 30% increase energy shield if you consume the power charge recently. Okay. I mean, that's fine. 10% of damage taken bypasses energy shield. No inherent mana regeneration. Regenerate mana equal to 6% of maximum life per second. Okay. That's interesting. Alright, the next one's probably gonna... Oh, and travel nodes are maximum life on this little skill chain. Your life cannot change while you have energy shield. Oh, so this is 10% less damage taken. I mean, that's pretty big. And this, yeah. This just screams build, yeah. Jongron, Ruo, Captain Lance. This screams for them. They'll probably figure something out here that's busted. Okay, and then we have this jewel node here. Crystalline Phylacter. Okay, whatever. This jewel node here can socket one non-unique basic jewel. 100% increased effect of socket the jewels. 50% more mana cost if you have no energy shields. I guess it feels like it needs to be higher. I think many of the other ones, you probably want to get into 2 of these big ones, so you won't be able to take this one ever. That's just how I feel. Yeah, seems cool. Not my. I don't. Yeah, this is like not. Meh for me. It's probably strong. I just feel meh about it. Next. Oh, this one. Warrior, the Smith of Kitava. I know a little bit about this one, yeah, where you can craft your own armor. That's going to be exciting to watch and look at. Okay, Forged in Flame. Modifiers to maximum fire resistance also grant maximum cold and lightning resistance. That's huge, depending on how the passive tree is. We have that node at the bottom left, where like uncapped 40%, every 40% uncapped fire res gives you 1+ max fire res. If that's still in the game and works like that, this is gonna be huge for this. You're gonna, yeah, if that's still there, and if like, yeah, I might play this class, but with spears, because of that. I mean, and the armor and things. We'll see, and the temper weapon and manifest weapon and all the other things that it can do. Maybe it seems like it's gonna be interesting. But I would use spears with this one, probably. Okay. Cold Stoker. Modifiers to fire resistance also grant cold and lightning resistance at 50% of their value. And this you take before you take the Forged in Flame. And then you have 2 points left. And, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, you can go super tanky. Okay, living weapon, manifest weapon. From what I understand, this summons a weapon that can attack. Maybe we can have more weapons summoned. This could be big, or it could be like meh. Against the anvil, temper weapon. This we saw in the trailer, right? He just stopped for a second and slammed on the weapon, and it got tempered. Either it works like exert, like each you have like 10 attacks and then you need to temper the weapon again, or it's like cooldown. It depends on how that works, if that's strong or not. Fire spell on hit, Heat of the Forge fire spell on hit. That could be insane as well for like Depending on how that works. I don't really know how that works exactly. I haven't done any cast on crit or the met like how it builds up charges in attacks and stuff and attack. I haven't played around with that at all in PoE2, so I have no understanding at all how this works. So I can't say anything there. Fire S, melee damage, well, it's the small ones. Yeah, cool. And then we have the coolest thing in the game currently, that I think is the coolest thing. Smith's Masterwork. Can only use a normal body armor. This passive skill tree is free to allocate. So you get this one for free, and then can you take 8 of these nodes if you want to? That would be cool as fuck then. Okay, let's go over all the nodes there that you can pick. Body armor grants armor also. Body armor grants armor also applies to chaos damage taken from hits. Meh. Body armor grants 100% increased stun threshold. Meh. Body armor grants 75% cold resistance. Meh. Body armor grants unaffected by ignite. Okay. Body armor grants 75% to fire resistance. That's good, because you can take this and you get even a bit of cold and lightning from that. That's a lot of resist from this. What is this? 50%. So you would get, yeah, more than 50%. What? You get like 30. What is it? 35, 30, 36, 37, around 37 each. So you get like 150 resist from just this node if you take Cold Stoker. Body armor grants 15% increased maximum life. It's good. There isn't much increased maximum life on the passive tree, so that's good. Body armor grants 200% increased strength. Interesting. Body armor grants lightning resistance. Don't care. Body armor grants regenerate 5% life per second. That's pretty cool. Body armor grants hits against you have 50% reduced critical damage bonus. That's big in hardcore. Huge. Flowing metal. Body armor grants +5 to maximum fire resistance. Huge if you take Forged in Flame. And then Molten Symbol. Body armor grants 25% of physical damage from hits taken as fire damage. Okay, so what I would do is probably take Flowing Metal and Molten Symbol, and then go Forged in Flames and Cold Stoker. And then you're like tanky as fuck. Like you have all your mitigation kind of solved in a way, and then you can just go for damage on everything else. Interesting. But it depends, like this living weapon here could be huge as well. Oh yeah, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you can take one of those as well. Oh shit. Yeah, because this is free. And then I'm guessing one of these, each one costs one. So Molten Symbol, Flowing Metal, Forged in Flame, Cold Stoker. And then you take against the Anvil, Living Weapon, Heat of the Forge. If you don't want any of these, you can just take the Fire Resistance and also the Crit Damage Reduction. If you can take 4 of these, and then you're super tank. You get all your tank from the Ascendancy, and then you can just go for like the skill that can deal the most damage. And you don't need to take any resist on anything, kinda. What are the travel nodes here? 15% fire here, 15% fire there. That's 30 fire. And then you have 75 here, that's 105. And then you get 50% cold and 50% lightning. So that's 200% resist. Added together from taking this and then going and grabbing that. That's pretty big, dude. That sounds cool as fuck. Alright, yeah, I like it. I like this. This is interesting. If I'm playing a warrior, I'm probably playing this. Because it looks fun. Okay, now we have the mercenary, the tactician. The pin thing looked interesting, which is essentially a freeze, but you just need to pin. So this might be broken with the pin. Okay. Stay light, use cover. Defend with 200% of armor. Enemies have an accuracy penalty against you based on distance. Maximum evade chance is 50%. Maximum physical damage reduction is 50%. That's interesting. Gain 100% of armor as extra stun. Oh, and it's this node here, and I'm gonna read the node before you take this one. Polish the gear. Gain 100% of armor as extra stun threshold. Gain 100% of evasion rating as extra ailment threshold. So the idea is if you play this, you go armor and evasion stacking. Yeah, you get armor evasion here. On these nodes. Okay. I mean, that looks kind of interesting, but... Okay. We have the pin node here. Pinned enemies cannot perform actions. That means it's like frozen. Maybe it's a bit different, but essentially I read that as you freeze. When you pin, you freeze the enemy. Projectile damage build up pin. Very good. Very good. And then you have pin. The travel nodes here is increased pin buildup. Pretty huge. Pretty huge. This node here. Persistent buffs have 50% less reservation. So yeah, half reservation cost. Pretty cool. And also the travel nodes are the travel node before here is increased spirit with percentage. Pretty good. And then we have the nodes behind this spirit node. I mean, that's pretty... I mean, if they've added more auras, this could be huge. It depends. But yeah, that could be really, really, really good. Can place multiple banners. Banners are maybe strong. Maybe they've buffed banners. We don't know. Maybe banners are broken as fuck and then you can place 2 of them and... in a team, you just destroy things, especially bosses. Maybe you can, yeah. Whoever pays best. That's what's the banner node. And then we have watch how I do it. Allies in your presence gain added attack damage equal to 20%, 25% of your main hand weapons damage. You could use this as a minion build, maybe. But yeah, yeah. This is a team player build guy. You go here. The aura thing looks pretty good. The ones behind, I don't really know. Don't really care. Grant supporting fire. And then we have the supporting fire skill up here. Minions from this skill have increased accuracy rating per 3%, 3 of your dexterity. Minions from this skill have 1% increased damage per 3 of your strength. And then we have no idea about the damage. Is it based on my... yeah, it's probably based on the weapon you have equipped then. Okay. And the... oh shit. Totem node down here. Totems have 30% more skill speed. Totems only use skills when you fire an attack projectile. I mean, in PoE1, you could like do some really broken things with this. I don't know. Depends on how totems, if they get buffed or anything. This league, maybe we have a skill that can shoot a really high skill speed, and then we can just put a slow attacking skill on there and then just yeah, it attacks slow and deals a lot of damage, but we can use like a fast attacking skill ourselves and then proc the totem to attack with the slow skill. And totems usually have a lot of attack speed reduction. But I mean, I don't know why this is here. If this is the case, that it will shoot when we shoot, it should be based around our attack speed. It's a bit confusing. This one looks decently interesting. I like the pin, the mana reservation, and also the defensive thing here. Especially the last one. That seems really interesting. I mean, when you have armor and evasion in PoE1, that feels really good. But, I mean, yeah. I think the pin thing is probably the one thing I think is coolest here. So I would probably go the pin thing, the spirit, and then take take the supporting fire, maybe go the totem node. And if, yeah, banners might be broken, so you can take a banner and put it down on bosses to, like, melt them. So, which one of these do I like the most? I like this one. I like Tanky Boy. So this looks interesting, but it is a warrior. I played a warrior. I want to play the Huntress. I might go with this and try and do some bleed thing. This was the Amazon. It all depends on the passive tree. I mean, do some accuracy stacking to get a lot of flat fizz. And then you just have flask. You can just press a flask. Doesn't matter if a life or mana flask to get your life back and mana. Yeah. Yeah, this one or this one. It all depends. I think this. Oh fuck. Yeah. This is hard. But yeah, bleed. I love bleed builds, so probably this. But as I said, I have to see the passive tree, because I think the passive tree will change more than what people think. I'm hoping like PoE1 early days kind of changes, where the passive tree it was crazy how much it changed. I've talked about that before, and I hope it happens like that again, so they actually just try and change as much as they can to see how they should have the passive tree in the end. I think in the end they will try and add a little bit more life percent on the passive tree. I think they should add like 1% and stuff on like melee nodes, like 1% life on like at least the big melee nodes. I think maybe 2% there or something. I think that could be a solution to get like the melee guys up a little bit higher on life. But yeah, yeah, as I said, it all depends on the passive tree. Yeah, I like the headhunter thing here, and I mean this ring thing is gonna be insane. Maybe charms are broken as well. Maybe they've added charms that can do some really crazy things. Wasn't there like an onslaught charm? You can just proc that then, I guess. But you need to get slowed. Maybe you can slow yourself somehow, and then you proc that and have onslaught always. And then if you slow yourself, I don't know, with temp chains or something? No, that doesn't count as a slow. Maybe it counts, I don't know. This one seems to be more straightforward. You just stack accuracy, bleed, crit, done. So probably this one, the Amazon. It's probably gonna be the build I play. The Ascendancy I play with spears. That's probably what's gonna happen. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Me talking, rambling, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you, as I said, hope you enjoyed. If you did, support by subscribing, leaving a comment, tell me what you think, which one do you like the most, and all the jazz. And like the video, watch the full video. It's probably not the best thing to say at the end. Anyway, stay awesome. See you guys in the next video.